Well, obviously, we're pleased to be competing in a regional. We know that I think it's interesting that we're getting to play somebody that we've played before. It's a great regional. Georgia Tech obviously is a very, very good club, and I've already read a lot about Austin Peay, so I know that they're a good club also. We'll get out there this afternoon and get ready to play in a very competitive regional, and I think our kids are obviously very excited about it. There's not one kid in our locker room who's played in an NCAA regional. So like the SEC tournament, it'll be new for all of our kids, but I know they're excited about it, and I really feel like we have the potential to play well there.
How did it really surprise you to see Southern miss that first game?
It didn't surprise me because I know that the NCAA committee traditionally has liked to create first-round matchups like that. You've seen that before, so that really didn't shock me at all, and I felt like Tallahassee or Atlanta, especially, those were naturals for an SEC school. Yeah, it really wasn't shocked. You know what? In this day and age, it's hard to be shocked. I think the thing I'm most shocked about right now, like you guys, is LSU, which is unbelievable. But I guess that's another whole conversation.
I know you and Scott don't really show your hand to Trustmark, but you've got to like the matchup with Southern Miss to open up the regional, just from what you see.
They're a very good club. But again, Southern Miss is a very good club. Will they show us anything that we haven't seen in the SEC? The answer to that would be probably not. It'll be different, but I think the SEC is great preparation for anybody to go into postseason play, and that's not to take anything away from Southern Miss because the Rices of the world, the people that they've had to compete against are top-notch competition also. So I feel like we probably won't provide anything they hadn't seen before, and they probably won't provide anything that we haven't seen before. So I think it should be a great matchup.
I don't know how much you've kept up with it, but what do you think of their struggle so far? Obviously, they're going through some issues as far as personnel, but what do you make of it?
You know what? I have not locked into their personnel or their numbers. We'll start that right now, and of course, we'll gather as much film as we possibly can. I think we'll have some significant opportunity to watch film on their club, but obviously they're very good, a very confident club, and probably feel like they could have had a chance to host. So they might have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder also, but very well coached, great program, and we're going to be excited about having that challenge.
What do you know about Georgia Tech and Austin Peay, and how much work can you put in on them this week?
Well, it'll happen right now. You figure in 3 days you'll be able to gather a lot. So don't know anything about Georgia Tech. Don't know anything about Austin Peay, but that 24 hours from now, I think our whole coaching staff will be experts on those programs. You can ask us anything, and we'll be able to answer that question.
Have you ever played at Georgia Tech?
Personally, as a coach, no. Coach Thompson has. He was on a Georgia coaching staff that I think won 2 regionals at Georgia Tech, so that'll be very helpful for us as well.
What's practice today going to look like?
We want to practice at the exact time we're going to play the game on Friday. We don't know what that time's going to be yet, so we're going to try and get that information in the next couple of hours, and then text our guys and let them know.
It does start on Friday.
Friday.
I didn't know. Okay.
That's correct, Joe. Is it Friday? That's for sure.
Yes.
Do we have a game time yet?
Not yet.
Okay. When will the game time be? Do we know?
We'll know that this afternoon.
Okay.
You said that, first regional, obviously, in 4 years. What was the reaction like in the locker room? Was it maybe more subdued than?
No, I think they're excited.
Expected?
I think they're excited, especially since, I think we're one of the last ones announced. So you're just going, my goodness, this, and again, I can't even imagine what the LSU kids were going through. I'm still shocked about that part because there is no doubt that LSU deserves to be in the NCAA tournament. There is no doubt about it. And I'm not criticizing the committee. I know they have a very difficult job, but I know they're also probably going to, years past, they've had a teleconference, and I would imagine there'll be a couple of calls on that I'd kind of like to listen to be honest with you.
So John, there's a lot of talk about ACC getting more national seeds, more regional hosts. You carry the flag for the SEC into an ACC regional. Is that something you guys might look at?
We won't, because our kids will just be locked in, Matt, on what we have to do to be an outstanding Southern Miss club. So I don't think that might come into play if and when we get to play Georgia Tech. But you're a little disappointed because I felt like Arkansas, for Arkansas, because I felt like they were good enough to be hosting. And you know, I mean, what we don't know is how accurate the websites reflect the actual RPIs. You know, if what we're seeing on Boyd's World, you know, in the nitty-gritty report, if that's close, then it's pretty disappointing that Arkansas is not hosting a regional for our league. But again, I know the committee has a very difficult job, and you know, wouldn't want to have that job because you're going to disappoint people no matter what. But wow, you know, Arkansas not hosting, and the bigger shock is LSU not getting in. That's you know, and of course I heard you know, I heard them say, you know, the fact that LSU didn't get in the tournament. So I mean that might be something that will change our thinking about our tournament a little bit in years to come, because LSU is. They shouldn't just be in the field of 64, in my opinion. They're one of the better teams in the field of 64. So that's, you know, that's a shock. You know, I'll send Paul a text, and I know everybody in our league truly supports them. And you know, we got the best league in America, and you know, I think that's pretty disappointing when you think about it.
As tight as things were, just in retrospect, how important was that win over LSU?
Every one of them. You know, the thing about it is every one of them. You can turn that around and say the extra inning loss against Alabama, how important, you know, was that? I mean, it's just every single win in our league counts exactly the same. So, you know, everybody, LSU will be looking at it, you know, we're looking at it even though we're in, and you're just going, that's how tight our league is. And I think in some ways, you've got to reward that, and that's why LSU should be in the tournament right now. You've got to reward the fact that it's that tough top to bottom.
How many changes have had to make in the pitching rotations and at this season, facing a team you've played before? Does that simplify any scouting or preparation for this game at all?
I don't think necessarily they're talking about LSU right now. By the way, Tim Weiser is from the NCAA. I don't think it simplifies anything. I think we're going to ask ourselves who's pitching best for us right now, and you know, we'll take a closer look at Southern Miss's lineup. You know, obviously, just you know, my mind, Paul Urena had great success against them before down in Trustmark. So, you know, we'll weigh all of that here in the next couple hours and start making some decisions about that.
It was mentioned a minute ago, Southern Miss's team, they could have hosted going into the last couple of weeks. Does it seem like maybe this is one of the tougher regionals when you look across the whole bracket?
Yeah, I think it's a very, very difficult regional. But I think there are several that are very, very, you know, interesting, difficult regionals. You know, the one Arkansas is in out at Arizona State. You know, there are several of them that are very, very good. So, you know, it'll be a great challenge. But you know, you feel like, and I know Southern Miss probably feels the same way. You feel like if you win game one, it truly can change everything. And that's why, you know, especially in the SEC tournament, you know, we have a 3-run lead, and you know, if you get those 9 outs at the end there, it changes our whole deal for the SEC tournament. So game one, I think in these tournaments are very, very important. And you know, I think our matchup with Southern Miss is probably one of the better first-round matchups in the entire tournament for sure.
With all the projections and whatever they mean and whatever they're worth, having a lot sent out to Texas, is there any comfort in maybe seeing some maroon in Atlanta and having that be a closer regional?
Yeah, you know, obviously we'd love to have, we have many Mississippi State folks in Atlanta. It's a great town for Mississippi State. Obviously, we'd love to have people come, and yeah, I mean, never discount the fact that when you have people in the stands, it makes a difference for sure. It's just incredibly, you know, gratifying to see this as many people as we had in Hoover.